Hello guys, this is Shockwave King back again for another One Piece video that no one's gonna watch. It's our return, and you should have titled the video, yes, what is Admiral Akainu's backstory? It's one of the most curious backstories anybody can really want to find out about, because it's like with Akainu, he's always seen as a villain, which I'm not gonna say he's not, but it's just like saying that, hey look, we were playing cops and robbers, and hey look, the robber do some good things. Why are the cops trying to kill the robbers? Let's not forget how many crews are like Luffy and how many crews are like Blackbeard. Have you seen multiple times these side minor crews just start to invade other places for no apparent reason, and everybody acts like just every crew is just like Luffy. The kid is an actual maniac. Like seriously, you bring up the One Piece and he'll basically wipe out your entire island with killer. And I'm a massive fan of the kid, but I'm not gonna act like he's not a cold-blooded murderer when you cross that line. Like I'm gonna act like these people are innocent. But some people say Akainu's view of absolute justice is wrong, but no one has actually tried to address what could lead a man to think that absolute justice is the only way to solve this entire problem, the only way to view justice overall. You can have your own personal opinion, of course, but if you look at Akainu, I don't feel like he was always all about absolute justice. And the reason why I say it is, if you look at situations like with Jinbei or with Shanks, he could have easily wanted to challenge Shanks or anybody else. They still had a decent amount enough men that they attempt to do something. And instead of doing that, he's just like, alright Shanks, you can take over this. And with Jinbei, if he's just a solid killer and hatred of pirates, and just about absolute justice, he was impeding an admiral's officer's methods of capturing the Straw Hat, and just trying to stop him from committing execution. That's a crime and resisting arrest. It's just, why let Jinbei go, but not kill him instantly? Since he did try to stop you, and this is in the middle of the war, and he is trying to stop you from killing Luffy. He should have been willing to kill him, but he was willing to let Jinbei to go away. Jiraiya got away from Akainu as well, and there's no way Jiraiya actually fought Akainu. That's not happening in my opinion. In my opinion, that's just not happening. Maybe you can believe that Jiraiya can beat Akainu. I don't know how or which way in form of fashion he thinks he can, but in my opinion, that's not happening. That's not happening at all. So it's just, and to me, it's just one of those things where it's just like Akainu is all about absolute justice. No one can deny that. But he's about the absolute justice to a point. In my opinion, when it refers to his backstory, I do believe once Akainu was just a regular Marine. I'm not saying he was like Garth, but I am saying he was like a regular Marine. He did believe his second chances. He did believe this and that, because I don't think it stemmed from his childhood, because in my personal opinion, I do believe that he's an orphan. Now, maybe I could be wrong. Maybe he was just caught up in some street crime as a child in that childhood photo. Or just he was hung out on the wrong crap. But the way it looked like he had to fight for survival. It looked like he was alone for most of his life. I could be wrong. I do personally believe that Akainu, like many others, was an orphan. That's just the way I see it. And if he was an orphan, and if he was to get a family that he truly cared about, and then out of nowhere have that snatch from him, how would that actually affect this man's mental health? I'm not gonna act like Akainu's the most stable individual, but it's just, honestly, on Marine 4 when he killed that Marine, if you actually want to try to retreat for your quote-unquote family and end up getting killed, then there's no difference from you getting killed in the battlefield. You might well die right here, and then you just mail a letter to your family that you died a hero. You wrapped up that little story and just would have called it a day. Is it messed up? Yeah, but who cares? Your family won't find out how you died. That's too bad for you. And is it right? No. But I'm not gonna act like just Akainu's you're just going too far. That's just wrong. He got a job to do and many lives to save. Just like with Kobe, you ever trying to save these scumbags? In Akainu's eyes, they all need to die or just be thrown in impale down. You better get out of my way. I'm gonna blow you out of my way into pieces. It's all the same to me. So when it refers to Akainu's backstory, in my opinion, this is how it went. Akainu, as a young boy, was an orphan. And to a certain degree, like the case of Sendo, he did try to help and save people on his own personal island. I do believe that Akainu grew up on a brand new island. So, yeah. So it's not like it's gonna be at a place that we've already seen before. But there's a chance that Akainu, since he did grow up young compared to everybody else, and right shortly after, you know, people like Whitebeard, Kaido, and Big Mom was going savage in their 20s. It wouldn't be too surprising. What if Akainu actually grew up in the New World? That would be an interesting concept there, because it would explain why it seemed like the town he grew up from was so lawless, and he just, as a young boy, as an orphan, he had to do whatever he can to ensure that he survived on a daily. It was good. He could have helped out the people casually, and one day when the Marines show up, he just chose to join us. I can't really explain how he joined the Marines, but I do believe that he does have his own personal sense of justice ever since he was a child. Is that the case? It didn't make a lot of sense in my opinion. Because I can't prove this, nobody can, but it just seems to fit. But in my opinion, it's the more interesting thing. It's what broke Admiral Akainu. What would lead Admiral Akainu to be like anybody from where's that place called that the Rami's from? That Robin's from. Who's Rami? It's a new character or a child of, yeah, that's not, I'm not gonna get that in people's heads. But wherever the island was where Robin grew up, why would he believe that one singular person who gets away will ruin everything? It'd be like, it was just like, if they get away with all this information, it'd be almost like they failed the entire mission from the very beginning. They all have to die. And what type of man would really want that? So in my opinion, at a certain point, Akainu did have a child. I do believe at one point Akainu did have a family, had a wife and a child. I'm getting feelings that it's more like he was a daughter at the theater time. The problem is, it's more than likely in one occasion, maybe at a big war, maybe he captured a pirate, maybe it's this and that, but in every occasion, he let somebody get away. And when that happened, that was pretty much the worst mistake he could have ever made. Because when he let that one pirate get away, when he showed doubt, when he showed mercy that one singular time, his entire family died because of it. His wife, his child, his island, his home was all gone, all destroyed. Basically got the Skullface chief. And after that, it's just like, if I got that exact same treatment, could I let one singular person go, and I had a different mindset, I would probably be like, yeah, everybody has to die. It's like he's like people say he's about absolute justice. There is a flaw in everybody's form of justice. Like with Kizaru, he's supposed to be lazy justice, but if he was that lazy, why did he attack every single person at Sabaody? Sure, he didn't arrest him, but he didn't have to attack him with only the Straw Hat Pirates, or the ones to attack the Celestial Dragon. And no one's finding that suspicious. But like with Akiji, would it just be like more of like a true form of justice? One moment you want to arrest the Straw Hat, next moment, oh, you can get away. Yeah, I thought you were here from Robin quick. So it's not like everybody's justice is just set in stone. That's not how it works. Blackbeard! But for Akainu, it's one of those things where I truly believe that to get him to the state he is in now, he has had to lose somebody that was very important to him. And there's no other way to like try to act. There's no other way to put it, in my opinion. It's just like there's no other reason why Akainu would be like this, from the way I view it. Because like, if you look at Akainu, there are times where he's just fine. So he is a hothead to a degree, but he's not really too heated like how Luffy would just snap on a dime and jeopardize the entire operation just because one singular child was not able to get fed this one time. And you see the beast pirates up here wasting food, and somehow you should attack him. But then again, if Law didn't plan for this after the multiple other times the Straw Hat did this, then it would have been screwed. But if they he threw that into the equation, that it would work. Yeah, I do believe with that backstory, it would lead a person like Akainu to actually want to murder every single pirate that seems like to be an opposing threat that just won't stop. With Akainu, there are no more second chances. There is no mercy. Because after he showed people mercy once, look what happened to him. He lost everything. And so is that the case? Then he basically after that point was just like, after that, is that how it has to be? Then so be it. If we gotta kill as many people as I can to make sure the job gets done permanently, then so be it. The last time he let somebody get away, the last time he let somebody slip through his grasp, and he's just like, oh, it'll be alright. What hard can it do? Well, his family paid the price for that. His own personal island paid the price for that. But ever since then, just like, no, there are no second chances. There are no mercy. There is no what if or buts. No, it's getting done outright, or it's not getting done at all. We're doing it to the finish. Oh, it was wrong for Akainu to call the Whitebeard pirates some cowards. Not really. And when you show up to Marineford, you break out an entire war over the island, nearly destroy most of it, and then you want to walk away? No, you gotta finish just like everybody else. You don't walk away. And technically, Ace still was the idiot who got himself killed. Because you're over here trying to protect the name of a man that doesn't even need to be protected. He's over, like, he's 50 years older than you. If he would have walked away, they would have done no type of harm to his reputation. But no, Ace wanted to be stupid, he got himself killed. But he was just a savage, just like that. It's just the way he broke it down to Ace. And it's like, I can't let you hurt the name of my daddy. How? The worst thing that could happen to Whitebeard is he dies. And he did. So thanks, Ace. You don't help that anybody. You know, killed your pirate captain, and you got your own stupid self killed, and you got your brother Scar for Ace. It's like, great, Ace. I don't hate Ace, but I don't see how he become this top tier. Or everybody enjoy Ace now. How? What has he done? He barely showed up on screen. I'm not trying to bring up his significance after he died. He's a corpse now. Let's not compare to how he was on screen. Now, you want to say about from the Ace novels and everything else, get some more insight in the character, and now you like him. I'll take that. But anything else besides from that, that was just, what? For him to be like the best, one of the best characters in One Piece, I'll be questioning that. Like, if those are some of your reasons, it's understandable. But if not, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, that's basically my video, guys, on the backstory of the Admiral Akainu. It's just, I don't know. I say out of the 3 admirals, and the thing be like, oh. If people like Fujitora, they would tie up with people like Fujitora, they would tie up with Sabo, then the admirals are obviously weak. No, the second generation admirals and the top 3 admirals are 2 different things. I'm talking about the same admirals whose fleet commander was saying Goku, who was still Yonko class at that age, even though he was pushing 70 and was dying his afro. Are you serious? Talking about that same admiral? I feel like a lot of people take certain characters for granted, like with Smoker. I'm not gonna say all the law's powers come from his fruit, but it's not like Smoker had to deal with some cheap, like it's not like Smoker was dealing with Luffy, because every time Smoker has encountered Luffy, he smacked up Luffy every single time. Besides from the fact that he wasn't in his body and he was fighting Master Shigi, besides from that, every other time he had smacked up Luffy, hit him with his little fruit rod, and it had him flat on his back. Wasn't for Daddy saving Luffy, he would be dead by now. But no, Smoker get no respect because no, Smoker's not worth nothing. Just go. Cause I'm not saying he's a top tier character. I'm not saying that he's outright garbage either. And plus, who was that third admiral? No, Kizaru's still an admiral. And just the fact that Akainu was even worthy of becoming a fleet admiral itself is just legendary. And so it's just like, oh, Akainu got smacked up by Whitebeard. How? Talk about the same Whitebeard that was having a heart attack, or talk about the same Whitebeard he turned his organs and eated back of it, or that same Whitebeard he was still fighting back. Ultimately, he wouldn't have fallen into that chasm. I'm pretty sure he would have got straight back up. It seemed like he was able to take on multiple Yonko commanders right after that, and deal with Jinbei and everybody else. But somehow, the admirals, the top 3 admirals, pre-time skip. Oh, not Yonko level. Alright then. I guess Sengoku is just not that strong. He's an old man after all, but it's just... Cause if Shanks would have showed up at a different time, and if Akainu would have saw Shanks as a threat, that would be an interesting fight. Because the only person to actually even touch... Because think about it, the only people who actually even touch Akainu, because I'm pretty sure when Kizaru got kicked by Marco, he was just playing around. But with Akainu, just like when Marco tried to hit him with Vista, it's just like that was a joke. That was nothing. It's just like some basic armor hockey. I'm Katakuri's father. Get it out of here. So it's just like one of those things where it's just like I do believe the Admiral's underrated. When it first Akainu, it was just like whenever we get his backstory, it would be one of the best backstories ever. I say, in my personal opinion, could potentially put Odin to shame. Cause just like this is not no like average Jimmy. This is Akainu here. Then again, maybe I overly hype up Akainu because it's the best admiral in my opinion. He gets the job done. There is no mercy, there is no sidelines, there's no nothing. You step up, you can get beaten and smacked down and smashed into pieces like everybody else. But the one thing more dangerous than a regular Akainu is an Akainu potentially putting armored hockey on his magma, and that would just be nasty. That would just be nasty. That would be a crime at that point. That wouldn't be a fight anymore. Because literally, how would you actually stop hot magma with armored hockey on it? Because somehow I kind of created, oh, let's put some armored hockey on my fruit powers, but with dopamine go, let's not do that. It would reinforce, you couldn't tell who's using hockey or not since Oda didn't draw it like that. Because, you know, I think we just trying to show it from the viewpoint of Luffy itself. Since he wasn't able to see armored hockey or use armored hockey, he's not able to see it. But everybody else in the battlefield were veterans, so it'll make sense from that aspect. That was he was going for, but I don't understand how people downplay Akainu like that, but in my personal opinion, he is one of the strongest characters in One Piece. Had one of the most broken fruits in One Piece. And yeah, that's my entire thoughts on the potential backstory for Akainu. I do think that it does go along them lines that he did lose somebody important to him. Maybe Akainu had a brother that he was protecting all his life as an orphan. Because like from that backstory, I don't think any normal parent would want their child walking around with a knife, potentially slicing other children up for no apparent reason. But an orphan child with no family, living on the streets, who get picked up by anybody to be sold into slavery, yeah, that would be reasonable for that to happen. But no. Yeah, that basically be my thoughts on the backstory of Admiral Akainu. One of the, my personal favorite admiral out of everybody. The man is a cold-blooded. He's just like, the way he went on a rampage through Marine Force. He's just like, are you serious? Just like that's a joke to you people? The way he was it's just like he was taking no damage from nobody. The only time Akainu was damaged was from a Yonko. The only time he was stopped was from a Yonko. Everybody else fell over and got whooped like everybody else. Look what happened to Ace. Dead. You're supposed to be a 2nd Division commander, and you got smacked up with one hit. I don't care if you're trying to save Luffy or not. You move too slow, Blaylock. So let's not only pick a fight with Akainu, don't secure the safety of my brother either. Great. Now, cool the fact we question when did Ace even get his fruit, because I personally don't know when did he get his fruit, so he might even had his fruit long enough to even awaken it. But even then, just the whole awakening thing is unusual. But it's more than likely that the admirals have their fruit awakened. And just for the pure fact of what happened on Punk Hazard, if there was just some casual stuff there, it wouldn't permanently change the entire climate and biosphere to be permanently like that. Like there is actual now permanent volcanoes on Punk Hazard. There are now permanent blizzards on Punk Hazard. That's not a normal fruit. That's just 100% awakening right there. Because unlike with Parametheus, or special Parametheus like Katakuri, when a Logia goes awakening, it actually changes the entire environment permanently. Like Raiju Island, I'm pretty sure NL has been to Raiju Island before. Maybe he would just, cause I'm not gonna act like, maybe NL been in his entire life. I'm not gonna act like I'm some type of One Piece encyclopedia who can spit through all the facts, because I don't think he even read the entirety of Skypiea. I got like a few brief summaries. I think you can say that for a lot of things in One Piece. I haven't read everything, so maybe I'm not a credible source. But how would you explain an island like Raiju Island? One Piece is known for some crazy weather, but an island with constant lightning strikes all the time? Really? And the lightning is purple? Really? And no one finds that strange? I'm just saying. I'm not saying NL been there, but it's not like Devil Fruits don't get around these days. So, I'm just saying it's a possibility. But yeah, that's basically my video on Admiral Akainu. Cause it's just, but the more interesting thing is just like, what would break a man like this? Honestly, what would actually cause a man to dedicate his life to live like this? Relentlessly chasing and pursuing the pirates. It should not. Akainu is like more laid back since he don't really have an active role anymore like he used to. Since he is now the fleet admiral, and he's only really brought up for major occasions. So yeah, I guess you could say calm down to a degree. But if Akainu didn't have that position, I'm pretty sure on any occasion that happens, he'll be on the front lines. Like the whole Kizaru and Wano situation, if Kizaru was going to Wano, Akainu was going to Wano. Because not like after, I mean, like Kizaru, if Kizaru's going to Wano, Akainu's going to Wano. Because it's like, with the true admirals, it's not like they never got along. It's like there had to be like a major argument after the whole thing that happened on Robert's Island, though. You murder all those innocent people. You killed a lot of survivors. What's wrong with you, man? What made you like this? Hell. It just walks away. Maybe some favoritism, maybe some bias, who knows? But in my opinion, that's more than like what happened after Inu's backstory. There is no other way to see it, in my opinion, besides some great tragedy that happened. Maybe it was a grandfather, maybe it was a brother, maybe it's my ideal of a wife and child. But something caused Akainu to be like this. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's been a video about the potential backstory for Admiral Akainu, plus some a little bit rambling on the side. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And the constant gameplay of me trying to play on a level 100 level with a level 50 character. That's just the grind of this game is going to me, you know. Maybe you're born Chakra King. Hope you enjoyed the video. And what do you think Akainu's backstory is? And peace.